What is the number one thing holding you back from dating?
Saturday mornings this NFL playoff season, the Handicappers are going live on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel, a true NFL kickoff show without all the fluff. We'll talk all the big stories, points against the spread, over-unders, player props, plus your DFS advice. That's the Handicappers, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, Saturday mornings, 90 minutes to get you ready for your NFL weekend.
It all starts with just one thing. Get to know your local beekeeper. You can make sure they don't use chemicals in the hive, that they only sell surplus honey, plus locally produced honeys have a smaller carbon footprint. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
Amazon Prime members now get free grocery delivery with the minimum order. You'll get your groceries with 2-hour delivery. So in that time you can, finally, figure out where the biblioteca is. Learn how to play the acoustic guitar and I guess get a puka shell necklace. Do a makeup tutorial but realize halfway contouring is hard. And you're beautiful just as you are. Whatever it is you're doing with your time, your shopper will be carefully picking out your favorite organic meats, produce, dairy, and snacks while providing contactless delivery to your door. Free 2-hour grocery delivery, now with Prime.
Screen pass to Trayshawn DeAndre on the right side. He dodges Crushman, makes his way to the end zone. Touchdown! But wait a second, I think there's a flag on the play.
All right, you guys got holding on number 97, right?
Yeah, definitely holding, no touchdown.
All right, make the call.
Yeah, I mean, it was holding.
So make the call.
Or, we say the flag was for an excessive celebration so they can keep the touchdown and apply the penalty to the kickoff, huh? What do you say?
What are you talking about? I didn't see excessive celebration.
You sure? I could have sworn I saw a little nay-nay going on.
What's going on with you, man?
All right, look, guys, I got to be real with you. Trayshawn DeAndre just scored that touchdown, okay? I have him on my fantasy team this week. I need these points.
What? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you, Bill. I'm playing against my father-in-law this week, and if he doesn't score this touchdown, I lose.
Well, I'm not going to let you make a bad call because you're in some fantasy football league.
Make the call.
Craig, no. If you make one bad call...
This works out perfectly, Bill. I started the quarterback who threw the touchdown pass. We're going to have to ignore the holding call.
I have the kicker, and I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't convert on third down, so he'd have to kick the field goal.
Armchair.
Follow CBS Sports Radio in the Twitterverse for breaking sports news. Go to twitter.com/CBS Sports Radio.
What's going on here, guys?
All right, Coach, so basically it was a holding call. But these dudes started me in their fantasy league, which is cool because this dude started our quarterback, but he started our kicker and I started their defense, so it's kind of a pickle.
Compromising the integrity of this game with your fantasy football leagues? Listen to me. If there was holding, you make that holding call. I don't care if it was on our team or not. I care about this game too much to let you...
Coach, you started their defense too, didn't you?
Yeah, you definitely started their defense.
Damn right I did.
Armchair.
Saturday mornings this NFL playoff season, the Handicappers are going live on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel, a true NFL kickoff show without all the fluff. We'll talk all the big stories, points against the spread, over-unders, player props, plus your DFS advice. That's the Handicappers, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, Saturday mornings, 90 minutes to get you ready for your NFL weekend.
You remember when the antidote for the flu was chicken soup, 7-Up, and saltine crackers instead of communism? Yeah, me too. I'll see myself out.
It's important to remember the value of taking time for ourselves, to do the things that help us grow and explore, like learning something new. And now with the Great Courses Plus, it's never been easier to experience the joys of learning. The Great Courses Plus offers thousands of streaming videos that cover hundreds of fascinating topics, from World War II to choosing the perfect wine. You can even take a course on the U.S. government or dealing with stress and anxiety. And because the Great Courses Plus partners with world-class professors and experts, you're always receiving thoroughly vetted, high-quality content from every lecture. Plus, you can watch or listen anytime, anywhere with the Great Courses Plus app. So take a little time for you. Sign up for the Great Courses Plus today for a free month of unlimited access. Visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio to get started. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio.
You know, that reminds me of the last time I had a hotel room all to myself. They said, stay at the Best Western, Thad. You can't beat it. As it turns out,
What do we do? This just got way too complicated.
I've got it. Here's what's going down. Corey, you talk to your team. You guys are going to decline that holding call.
Done.
Yo, wait, but then...
Hold on. Trayshawn, once we break this huddle, you're going to get out there, do some crazy celebration. I'm talking some humpies. Whatever you got to do, you do it.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to call unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration, giving the Whites better field position after the kickoff. Coach, I need you to talk to your team about letting them run that kickoff back.
Why would I do that?
Think about it. Defense, special teams, it's all one. You let them run that kickback, both your defenses get 6 points.
Nice.
Okay, everyone good here?
Yeah.
Nope. Once again, my kicker is getting no love.
Oh, shut up, Bill. Your team is in first place. Plus, you're about to get extra point for the PAT.
Yeah, don't be greedy, Bill.
Stop being greedy, Bill. Bill.
Fine.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
I said fine.
Bill.
Bill. Yeah, Bill. You, Bill.
All right, let's do this. Get out there.
Wait a minute. Trayshawn comes in with a very delayed celebration here. Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a... Yeah, there it is. Another...
Armchair. You should have 1,200 calories a day.
Okay.
And how many at night? Armchair.
Saturday mornings this NFL playoff season, the Handicappers are going live on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel, a true NFL kickoff show without all the fluff. We'll talk all the big stories, points against the spread, over-unders, player props, plus your DFS advice. That's the Handicappers, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, Saturday mornings, 90 minutes to get you ready for your NFL weekend.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
Hey man, this look pretty good, man. Where your clothes at?
Armchair.
Welcome to the Handicappers, your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football, year long, and your DFS payouts. True Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers. Welcoming in Bobby the Kid with Joey and Tones Areola with Stephen Troche and Sean O'Toole on the way. With your host, Mac McGee. Welcome to the Handicappers. morning to you. Welcome to the Handicappers on a Saturday edition, as we are going to be doing these on Saturday mornings so we can get the whole NFL slate in on Saturday mornings, and away we go. So if you're just joining us, that is what is going on. We've got Tony and Joey Ariola with us. Joey, how are you this morning, sir?
Doing great. The jersey looks great, Mac, as always. You looking good this morning. Let's have a week 18 for one in the ages. I'm ready for it.
Tones, how the hell are you, sir?
I'm doing great this morning. I'm looking forward to 2 games today. We got the call in the first one. I'm not going to butter your jersey up as much as Joey, but you are looking good today, my friend. Top of the morning to you fine gentlemen.
The new ones are being made, and they should arrive to us sometime in the next week or two, and then we'll get them out to y'all. So plus Tones, I got something I'm going to send to you as well that I don't know if you have it or not, but I'm going to send it to you as well. It's something that I came across that was probably a collector's item, Buccaneers. So
neato, man. I appreciate that. That's love right there. After this week of AB stuff, I need something.
A lot.
Did y'all see the news that Todd Haley of the USFL? I think he's coaching. Man, I tweeted out the other day. I can't remember who he's coaching. 4 coaches have been named.
The Tampa Bay Bandits.
That's right. He is the Bandits. Okay, that's what I was thinking. But I got Kansas City in my head because that's where he used to coach. So he offered AB a job. Now I don't know what they're paying in the USFL. I don't think it's much. I don't think AB would play, but wouldn't that be funny? AB playing in Tampa.
That would be hilarious. And although he knocked it, his dad played in the AFL his entire career. So you never know if AB has a path there one way or another, but that'd be interesting for Todd Haley in Tampa.
Yeah. USFL named 4 coaches. So they named Tampa, Houston, the New Jersey Generals. I don't remember the other. There was a 4th one. So half of because I believe there's only 8 teams this first year. Half of them are going to be announced. Now it's confusing. I'm just waiting for more news to pop up how they're going to do that. Originally, they were talking about there was a rumor that they could be playing all the games out of Birmingham. Strange to me, because if that's the case, then why the hell even name them after cities if you're not going to be playing at home? We'll see if that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I mean, why would you do that when you want to be able to put butts in seats, right? So we'll see what happens with that. Today is National Winter Skin Relief Day. Anyone have any idea what the hell that is?
Skin relief.
Use a lot of lotion, I guess.
I'll leave that joke alone. National English Toffee Day, though. Have y'all ever had English toffee?
I'm a toffee fan. I'm a toffee guy.
That's a good stuff.
That is good. It's underrated, man. And good toffee is actually hard to find around here.
It is. I never see toffee anywhere.
No, it's kind of like circus peanuts.
Thing. I feel like that when I lived up in the Northeast, you saw it quite a bit, but outside of that, I don't hardly ever see it.
Yeah, it's kind of like circus peanuts. They're good stuff. You just can't find them anywhere. Discontinuing all the good stuff.
God, that took me forever to find. And then I got this big ass bag, and now I went to go take a piece out the other day, and it's hard as a rock, right? That's the thing is I wish they would sell circus peanuts in like things of 3 or something, like very small amounts, so you could just buy like little, kind of like if you're going to eat a Reese's cup, you don't want to open up a bag of 60 of them and then come back 3 weeks later and there's you're going to bite into one, you break your tooth off in it. Anyways, we move on. Couple of things that we do want to hit before we get going. First of all, we're going to do our first ever bad year draft, and I'm going to share the rules here in the thread here in 1 second. I was trying to do it earlier, and it was I guess I didn't know YouTube has some kind of limit on how many characters that you can put in. So I'm going to share it here in a second when I can get the characters lower. But what we're doing is we're drafting athletes or outside of athletes, any kind of celebrity, and we're going to have a point system. We'll share that point system with you, and who's going to have the worst 2022. we'll keep track of it. I've got a board that I'm going to write it on, and we'll just keep track of it each week. And everyone's just going to have to kind of, give me a heads up if you see something or whatever. And I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I love it.
No, Joey, we're not going to give bonus points if someone dies. Okay. Because I don't want to be linked to that. Okay.
That's all we need.
Dude, we're just seeing how far we're going.
I thought about that before you ever texted. I was like, I don't want to be in fault of that.
Someone's going to go down and our audio clip's going to link over there and it's going to get messy.
Yeah. We'll finally get our big break when we get sued the next day because we were celebrating it, popping champagne. I won.
Mimosas on me.
So we're going to do that when the rest of the guys join. Bobby's coming up with us at the bottom of the hour. Steven and Sean will be joining us about 40 after. So this show is going to be typically 90 minutes. I don't think we need the full 2 hours to get through the NFL. Especially once we get to the playoffs where there's very, very few games going to be played. So away we go. But two things that we're keeping an eye on, see if they actually are activated and play tomorrow. JJ Watt of the Arizona Cardinals, who hasn't played since week 7 against Houston, and Derrick Henry, who plays Houston tomorrow, that hasn't played in about 10 weeks. And we talked about this a lot yesterday. I feel like if he plays, he gets like 5 to 7 touches. They're not going to go out there and wear him out. But it was kind of a split opinion yesterday. I believe you want to get the rust off the Ferrari, right? I don't think you want to go into the playoffs, especially if they end up getting a bye. Then you're talking about another 2 weeks. I just think you kind of want to get him used to getting hit again, just get the blood going, and away you go.
Well, and the thing when you and Justin were discussing that, I was kind of more towards your end, because to me, he goes, if he doesn't play in this game, you can't play him in the playoffs. It's full metal when you get to the pedal, when you get to the playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, Derrick Henry, he should get a few carries tomorrow, but you get a full load in the playoffs. It's do or die time. You don't manage a guy's load when it comes down to playoff time. If he feels good enough to run the ball, which he's back practicing, so for the most part he should be, I think it's going to be a lot of carries for him in the playoffs again. There's going to be no limitations. They'll put in the backups a little bit more often, but they're not going to limit him. It's Derrick Henry. You don't do that.
Well, yeah, because once the playoffs hit, you got to, it's like I was talking about yesterday, you have to bare minimum give him 20 touches a game if you're going to win. And that's every playoff game, because any team that makes the playoffs is not a slouch. So you're not going to be able to just go in there and ho-hum, especially in the AFC. I feel like the AFC's bottom is a little better than the NFC's bottom, but the NFC's top is a little stronger than the AFC's top.
Correct.
So you're not going to get a New Orleans Saints is what I'm saying. You're not going to get them in the first round. A team that you can kind of bully around and find a way to win because their offense is so bad that you'll just find a way to win that game. You're probably going to get, especially if you got the bye, then you're missing out on the very first. So there's a good chance you're going to play a division winner in your first game. It'll be the second round, but the first game.
Yeah, especially in the, all division winners seem to be competent football teams this year. So that's going to be interesting. That second round this year is going to be one for the ages. I feel like there's going to be a ton of good matchups when it comes down to it. I can't wait to see, who teams like Green Bay, Tennessee, Tampa end up with, assuming they all move on. But it's going to be a fun playoffs. Round 2 is going to be incredible.
So looking in, let's go ahead and dive into today's games, because you've got the Chiefs and the Broncos, which Tones and I are bringing to you at 4:30 Eastern. So please drop by and check that out. Broncos are literally playing for nothing, but they can play spoiler because the Chiefs need to win to have a chance to get that first round bye. It's in Denver. It's an 11-point spread. Joey, I'll start with you. What do you see on today's game?
As long as Drew Lock is the starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos, they will not compete in this ball game. I do believe the Denver defense is going to step up to the challenge, and they're going to have, early in the first half, have a pretty good day. I don't think Kansas City is going to go wild, but the second half, Kansas City will open it up. Drew Lock cannot complete basic passes. And really, if you're the Chiefs, I just stack the box and see what he can do. It's going to be obviously a little bit chillier in Denver as it is this time of year. Drew Lock, I've watched him the past couple of weeks. He doesn't make the throws you need to make in the NFL, even on a basic level. So I think the Chiefs, it will be close at halftime and end up in a Chiefs blowout. They will cover.
You think they'll cover?
Yep.
I think it's going to be a closer game than that. I feel like that they're going to run the ball. They're going to try to take the air out of the ball. I do have concerns with Lock behind center, but I think they're going to have a very vanilla offense of game plan. That defense is still pretty good. I don't think they'll beat them, but I think they could cover the spread because 11 points is a lot to cover on the road, especially in Denver. Tones, what say you?
Yeah, one thing that Kansas City should look to do this game more than most, and I know Denver has a pretty stout defense, but as we alluded to, when you head into the playoffs, you want to work on running the football. The Chiefs have not been doing a good job of that this year. Darrell Williams is their leading rusher, and he only has 541 yards on the season. So to me, the Chiefs got to come out today. Yeah, they're worried about winning big, whatnot. They want to win, but you got to establish the run, get the run together, because if you head into the playoffs averaging lackluster yards a game, and your lead backs to begin with are Darrell Williams and a banged up CEH, who, he might not even be available for playoffs given his injury history. So you just got to make sure you come out today, you run the ball, you try and establish something, because if you have Mahomes throwing 40 or 50 times in each playoff game, we've seen at the beginning of the season, there are ways to beat Kansas City when Mahomes throws a lot. He was mistake prone at the beginning of the year. Has he gotten better with his decision making as the year went on? Yes, he has. But at the end of the day, I know it's the Broncos. They have a really good defense, and the Chiefs want this game. But to me, you got to work on establishing the run. I think that's really important today for Kansas City. If they don't get some ground momentum going, I find it hard for them in the playoffs to make it to the Super Bowl for a third straight year. Ground game is key come January and February.
That's another thing that you have to look at too, is that let's say the Chiefs drop the game. Okay, whatever, not that big a deal. You're probably going to play next week anyways. I think there's a very good chance that Tennessee wins the game against the Colts, but you don't want to stumble into the playoffs. And if you win that, or if you end up as the 2 seed, there is a very good chance that you are going to play a division rival in your first game, because there's a good chance that the Chiefs are going to end up playing the winner of the Las Vegas. Man, I wanted to call it Oakland, San Diego game, Las Vegas, Los Angeles game.
I would love that.
So that's a big deal going into it. I know they'll be the home team. I get they'll be a pretty heavy favorite, but look, the Raiders have had their numbers in the past. The Chiefs played them very well the last time. The Chargers played them very well the last time they went at it. It was an absolute barn burner. The Chiefs don't have an easy route in that first round if they have to play. That's the last thing you want to do, is play a division opponent in the first round. If the Colts win, which we're about to talk about that game, but if the Colts win, the Colts would be the 6th seed.
Yep.
And the team that doesn't win the AFC East, Bills or Patriots, will be the 5 seed. That's going to be another divisional opponent as well, in all likelihood. You're probably, let me look at that real quick. I could be off on that, but you could get a situation where you get 2 divisional matchups in the AFC in the first round. Right now, it would be the Bengals versus the Colts, and 4 and 5 right now. If all these teams win this weekend, Buffalo would play New England. If New England wins the division and Buffalo does not, which means Buffalo would fall to 10-7, and let's say the Colts are 10-7, and the Chargers are 10-7, or the Raiders are 10-7. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, so I really don't know how the hell that would all fall into place. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that published out. You normally go by conference records. Buffalo would have a 6-6 conference record. Indy would have an 8-4 conference record, and Vegas would have an 8-4. Chargers would have a 7-5.
Yeah, I did read a scenario out there where the Colts could end up anywhere from, the 5 seed, which is a little more unlikely, but they could climb up there. I think their conference record helps them a lot, as they had a strong showing against AFC teams this year, and any tiebreaker over 2 teams is conference record. So
Right.
Colts bode well in that category. The only thing they want to avoid is a direct head-to-head tiebreaker with the Raiders, but at this point, that's pretty much impossible. So I think they like their tiebreaker seed, and I feel like.
Well, see, if the Raiders win, they would have the same tiebreaker as well. So if it came down to it, you could have the Patriots, the Colts, and the Raiders all tied at 10-7, or the Bills, Patriots, the Bills, Colts, and Raiders all tied at 7. So and Raiders would be 8-4, Colts would be 8-4. The Patriots, if they were to lose, would be 8-4. The Bills would get knocked out instantly. So I think the Raiders, in theory, could jump up to the 5 seed, which doesn't feel right. They don't feel like that they're the 5th best team in the conference, but there's a roundabout way for them to get there.
Yeah, there is a lot of muck going on, and I think after conference tiebreakers, it comes down to winning percentage against common opponents, they call it. So, however you got to figure out that one, that's a tough.
Which is really dumb. You think they would then go to head, but I think when it comes when it's not a 2-man head to tiebreaker, when it goes to 3 or 4, etc., they throw the head out the window, which is kind of dumb.
The only way they keep the head-to-head around, say if the Patriots, Colts, Bills ended up tied, I know that's impossible, but the Colts beat both of them, so then the Colts would get the advantage because they all ended up tied. Colts get the head-to-head sweep. That's the only way it would take into factor. But if one other team takes
a 3-way tie, they throw the head-to-head out.
Yeah, but they bring it, but not unless it's if you sweep them all head-to-head, you are the top team. So if the Colts tied with the Raiders and Patriots, but Colts beat Raiders and Patriots, and the other 2 didn't play together.
The Raiders.
I'm saying, though, I'm just throwing out logicals. Just say if Colts, Patriots, and Raiders are tied.
I've seen it happen in years past where they get a 3 head-to-head, and you think this one team gets it because they beat the other 2 teams, and they lose because that gets thrown out when it goes to a 3-way tie. It sounds weird, but they throw it out when it becomes a 3-4-way tie. They go to conference records, they go to strength of schedule. But I'm with you, it would make logical sense to do it that way. But they've always they throw that out because, well, you can't eliminate one and eliminate another, blah blah blah. But it would make sense for them to do that. Joey, you're a Colts fan.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you win. Who do you want to play in the first round that's realistic? Because the realistic possibilities, I believe, would be Cincinnati, Buffalo, or New England.
Cincinnati, Buffalo, New England. Honestly, when I look at those 3 teams, I probably Buffalo, we just beat them, and Josh Allen, we'll struggle against the quarterbacks who have really good arms and who are mobile. So to me, a guy like Josh Allen who could throw the ball at a great length, but also become almost a running back at times would scare me a little bit. I honestly would want to see Cincinnati most in the first round. A lot of people are going to be like, whoa, they're playing good right now. But when you're a young team, they're benching Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
I think you match up best against them. I really do.
Yeah, and they haven't won a playoff game in forever. It will be new territory for them. It's only a 5-hour drive down I-74 to get from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. I think that'd be our most favorable matchup against a team with no experience.
Tones, Bucks fan, who do you want to play in the first round? Because so we already know Green Bay's getting the bye. Who does Tampa Bay want to face in the first round? We know they're going to be at home.
And it's almost guaranteed. It's an 80% chance at this point that we do play Philadelphia in the first round. So barring something wild, it looks like we will get the Eagles. And I'm okay with that, although they have a scrambling quarterback. It's bit the Bucks in the butt at points and times. They've been running the ball good. Bucks run defense looked a little lackluster against the Jets last week. But that's because we are without Levante David. If Levante comes back for the playoffs, which he is trending to do so, our run game will improve greatly on the defensive side of things. things, I think the Eagles would provide a nice matchup for the Bucks. Not saying it'd be a walk in the park, but I would appreciate playing the Eagles in round one, contain Jalen Hurts, and then offensively, their secondary ain't bad. They get after the quarterback a bit, but you could have your ways. Tampa, we seen in Thursday Night Football first half this year, week 5 or 6, they got out to a nice start. So it'd be a repeat of the regular season. I think it will be the Eagles. I'm expecting the Eagles. And at this point, I'm hoping the Eagles. Only other scenario seems to be the 49ers, unless the Bucks lose and tragically somehow fall to the 4. Then that opens a can of worms for the Cardinals or Rams or whatnot. But I think that it will be the Eagles, and I'd prefer the Eagles over the 49ers at this point. Given the uncertainty of the Niners quarterback position, I know that's tough to say, but I just I trust Shanahan a little more. That 49ers run game is elite and their defense is pretty dang good. So I'd go with playing the Eagles, and I think that's what we're going to end up with.
Okay, so we're going to come up short on time, so let's go ahead and dive into the DFS team build because I want to get this going. The way we typically do it is one guy gets to stack each week, and then we go around and around in a typical draft. So whoever stacks typically grabs a quarterback, and then they grab someone on that same team, typically a receiver, maybe a tight end, et cetera, et cetera. Tones, I'll let you go first on the whole stacking thing. First pick, DFS this weekend. Where are you going?
If I'm going first pick in DFS this weekend, let me pull this up here.
What's funny about this weekend? It's so many things come into play. Number one thing is how long is the guy going to play, right?
And that's the biggest thing. Like I was going to say, I'd like a guy, like obviously Aaron Rodgers this weekend, but at the end of the day, he's probably only going to play a quarter or a half. Right. So what good does that do when you're trying to determine your quarterbacks?
So you got to pick someone who needs a win realistically.
Yeah, if I'm looking at these games and I need someone who's gonna get a win, let's see here. I kind of like Derek Carr in tomorrow night's game. I think that Carr and Waller returns. I wouldn't mind bubbling them if Darren Waller and Derek Carr get on the same page. Let me see how much these guys are costing here. My thing's being difficult here, so I don't have the pricing in front of me. But in a must-win,
Waller is still very questionable to play. He's 6,100. You might want to grab a receiver instead.
Derek Carr 5,600.
Right.
Derek Carr 5,600. I like that a lot. And then say if Waller, just say emergency.
Renfro.
I like Renfro because he's probably a little cheapy too. So give me Renfro and give me Carr.
All right, 6 and 56. Gotcha.
Sorry, fellas, my thing's a little slow right now.
Joey, what say you?
Man, I see finally King Henry jumping back in the picture, but I'm not touching him as he'll be limited as much as fun as it would be. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do it. I just saw him jump back into DFS for the first time in a while. I actually like Dalvin Cook at 7,800. They're at home against the Bears. It's their last game of the year. He's healthy. He's going to play. There's no point. Neither of these teams are going anywhere in the postseason. As much as I want to take Jonathan Taylor, a little too much to bite off there at 9,300. I'm thinking about Dalvin Cook at 7,800.
Okay, I'm gonna try to be smart and save us some money here, and we're gonna go down the list. I'll take man. How many people got screwed by Swift last week? Whoa, that was an absolute just. Oh my God, you got jobbed if you had him in DFS. I'm gonna go. Well, it's a little cheaper. I won't see much, but David Montgomery 6,800 going up against that terrible Minnesota defense. I think David Montgomery has a big game. Tones, it's back to you.
Okay, since we sat this one out on the back end of last time, I picked the tight end, a little banged up. I like George Kittle to have a nice game, 6,700 against against the Rams. I think that the 49ers need to win the game, and I think that Jalen Ramsey is going to lock down Deebo Samuel, which leaves George Kittle to a path to success.
All right, Joey, what say you?
I'm trying to look a little cheaper right now as I want to give us a little bit of value here. At the receiver position, I'm going to go T.Y. Hilton at 4,700. The Jacksonville Jaguars defensive backs are a little bit banged up, and they haven't played that good against the pass as of lately. They've been letting up 30 points a game. I'll take T.Y. Hilton at 4,700.
Okay. So I'm going to go bargain shopping for us and grab us the defense because we're going to need some help here because we kind of went, drunken sailor on the first 5 picks. So what I'm looking at is the best chance for a defense to step up and play a tough game. Give me the Dolphins at home against New England. It's only 2,400. It's still pretty decent defense. And that offense is not, let's be honest. They're a good team, but that offense is not going to, put many butts in the seats. It's all about, playing a ground control game. So I think, and look, Bills jump out to a 24-0 lead on the Jets. Bill Belichick's going to sit everybody. All right. So that takes it back to Tones.
Could you tell us what money we're left with really quick?
We've got 4,700 apiece
in two spots.
2 spots left, wide receiver and flex. So it goes back to you. So we need something around 4,700, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower.
Could we use today's game players as well, or is today's?
Yeah. It's a full slate.
I like. I'm going a little lower here. I kind of like Kenneth Gainwell to have a decent day for Philadelphia tonight. Their main running back still a little banged up, Miles Sanders. So I think that Kenneth Gainwell could get some production for 4,100 tonight, and that helps us out with our last spot. That's for our flex, by the way. So I think Gainwell
600 for Gainwell, and Joey, that leaves you with 4,800 total.
Okie dokie. I'm looking at it right now in that area. I'm trying to see, is Cole Beasley healthy? It looks like he is. I don't see anything around him. He's 4,800.
He's healthy.
I like Cole Beasley, 4,800.
Okay, so that'll do it. We got Carr, we got Cook, Montgomery, Renfro, Hilton, Beasley, Kittle, Gainwell, and the Dolphins defense. So we need big production out of Cook and Montgomery. We need a good game from Carr, and hopefully he finds Renfro at least one time. And then we're just hoping to hit darts. I think Hilton's got good value there. Kittle needs a big game. They need to win. So you got to figure he's going to play the whole way. And Gainwell, he's going to be touchdown dependent, but at that point, you're just trying to sneak into the end zone with somebody. So there you have that. And Bobby's going to be joining us here in a few minutes. So we'll get ready for that. And let's go ahead and get your locks and your one big thing, because when the other guys jump on, we're going to jump into that draft. Joey, start with you. What is your lock and your one big thing?
Yeah, for my I'll get my one big thing out of the way. I'm just going to keep preaching it like I did yesterday and today. Please, Colts, make it a happy Sunday for me and get into the postseason. You had a 0-3 start to the year, 1-4. Do not have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have beat you since 2014 in their stadium, do it again, as I need to be having a happy Sunday. So my one big thing is go Colts. And then my lock of the day is actually going to be the Minnesota Vikings are -5.5 home against Chicago. I just think it's possible. It could be Zimmer's last game. I think they're going to try. They have a lot of talent. They just do. They missed the playoffs. It was a very disappointing season. But in that home stadium against an Andy Dalton-led Chicago Bears team, I like the Vikings giving 5.5 to make a good statement for their last final game at home, possibly last game under Mike Zimmer.
Welcoming on to the show is Mr. Bobby. Bobby, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Getting ready for week number 18. Tones, what is your one big thing in your lock?
My one big thing is really just today and tomorrow. Enjoy these and look for the NFC playoff picture to come down to the Rams 49ers game. Pretty much if the 49ers lose that game, that gives the opportunity for the Saints to sneak in there. 49ers win and they're in.
Are the Bucs going to play their players all game? I mean, is there a reason to, realistically?
For who?
The Bucs are
they said they are, and the reasoning for the Bucs is they want that 2 seed badly. They want to try and get 2 home games before they have to travel to Green Bay, which would be the presume. So they are going to play their guys full game, but I'm locked into that 49ers Rams game. And that's my lock of the day too. I think the 49ers plus 4.5, they know it's win or go home playoff time. I think 49ers plus 4.5 is where I'm heading. If they lose, they're out, man. And that run game is their offense and defense, technically speaking, in terms of yardage, are both top 10 in the NFL. So I think that's actually going to be a really fun game, Rams 49ers. And I think 49ers getting the 4.5 is my lock. And my one big thing to watch is 49ers. Do they want that playoff spot? They win, they're in, they lose. That's that.
So 3 people have given San Francisco plus 4.5 the lock the last 24 hours. So take that with what you will. We finished the regulars, or we will finish the regular season above 500. Even if we lose all 6 games today, we will. The worst case, I figured out the worst case scenario would be 52% winners. A down year for us, but we could end up as high as 56% winners. If you win 53% of your bets, you win money in the NFL. Because you always have to consider the juice that always gets hit with it. So the rule of thumb is if you can get over 53%, you can make money. So I'm hoping we go at least 3-3. It would lock that in. We have been above 60% the prior years, but we had many more picks this year. And poor Steven.
If we would have been above 60 if we counted Steven's 9%.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Hopefully that means that he goes, undefeated next year. Bobby, let's go ahead and get your luck. We're waiting on the other guys to join us.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I don't have like a line or anything. I have a player prop, but I like Tyler Lockett over 56.5 receiving yards. I think I used this as my lock last time he played the Cardinals, but like I said, he always just seems to have his way with the Cardinals. I don't know what it is. Every year it seems to be the case, but I like Tyler Lockett to have over 56.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
Lock it in.
I'll go ahead and throw my lock out there. Chris Jones gets a sack. He needs 1 sack to kick in a $1.25 million bonus. And he gets that sack. TJ Watts needs 2 sacks. I can't find that line anywhere. He needs 2 sacks to break the NFL record. I think there's a good chance he gets it. He at least flirts with it. TJ Watts at least going to get 1 sack. But can he get the 2? But I can't find the line on it. So I'm going with Chris Jones. 1 sack. He's got 9 on the season. That 10th sack would kick in a $1.25 million bonus. So motivated to say the least. And he's going to be chasing down Drew Lock. So
just don't take off your shoulder pads and jersey, and he should be able to get that taken care of.
I'm so concerned with trying to pick any kind of lines. I like the San Francisco one a lot. That was the lock that I gave yesterday. But I'm so concerned with picking any kind of lines because the simple fact of the matter is you don't know how many teams are going to keep their starters in. I do find it very interesting that Philadelphia is getting 4 points at home.
They have a COVID situation. I know. I don't know how many players are out, but I think quite a few could be.
By the way, can I give a shout out to the idiots that run the local television stations here in Jacksonville? Because you sign up, other than the Jaguars, you sign up for the game that you want locally, right? Listen to our situation here locally tomorrow. You got the Colts and Jaguars, but that's the local game. You have to get that game. And it does have some playoff implications. Over on Fox, Packers and Lions. Who gives a damn who wins that game? The Packers have the number 1 seed. The Lions are going to be trying to lose to help their freaking cause in the draft. The hell does it matter?
They should have gave you Saints Falcons at least, or
anything.
Well, that's at 325. Man, the Fox schedule tomorrow stinks though. Your only other option is Washington and the Giants and Bears and the Vikings.
Anything's better than the Packers playing their backups against the Lions.
True.
And then the late games, we get 49ers and Rams, which I'm happy about. But then it's Carolina and Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay doesn't realistically need to win that game. So I mean,
Eesh.
The thing is, if they lose, though, they will bump to the 4 seed. So they want to do anything.
Not if Dallas loses tonight. No, they've got the 4 seed locked in because they can't fall below Dallas. Dallas is a game behind them. And if they lose and Dallas wins, they would be tied. Tampa gets the tiebreaker because they beat them.
But if then it comes down to what happens with if Arizona were to win. There is one unlikely scenario that we do end up with the 4, but we could still end up with the 4 if Arizona wins, Tampa loses, Dallas wins. I think that would maybe be enough to bump Tampa down to the 4 spot, and the Rams lose. I think that would be enough to bump
most
Tampa down.
coaches don't want to risk injury for all that, woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff when they're like, dude, we're not getting a bye.
I expect fourth
quarter division. We know we're going to be at home, and it's not like the NFC. Whoever makes the wild cards outside the Cardinals, and the Cardinals been playing terrible. But you're not that worried if you're the Bucks if you're at home for the first round.
I'd expect a lot of first half, a lot of starters and whatnot, and say the Bucks are up in the second half, midway through the third quarter. I see that a lot of them start checking out of the game.
Well, that's my point. We're going to be watching, what's his name? Kyle Trask play the Panthers tomorrow.
You're not that lucky. You might get Blaine Gabbert.
All right. Let's
The Panthers play like 17 quarterbacks, so that's always fun.
Yeah, you're going to get your normal Panthers, Phil. You got PJ, you got Cam, you got Sam.
See, we had someone join in, but they didn't, their video's not on. See who this is.
The Raiders guy.
Let's go something. So let's go. Brandon is here. Okay, it's Sean.
I don't live in Florida, buddy. Chill out.
It says, let's go, Brandon.
It says, let's go, Raiders.
Raiders now. What's going on, Mr. Sean? The Colts, the Lions, now the Raiders. What are we doing?
Look, man, when you're a Lions fan, you're just searching for joy. Get off of me.
Hey, jump on the Colts with me. I've been hoping for that all year.
I am. Hey, my son's a Colts fan.
I know.
The Colts are always number one. I'm just, hey, with all the Raiders have been through this year, friend of the show, Doug. I assume Doug's still alive. I don't really know. But, it's friend of the show, Doug. I've always liked the Raiders, and they've been, hey, look, if you believe in the team of destiny type stuff, Gruden, Ruggs, Madden, a lot of fate signs in the background for them this year. So we'll see.
Amen.
Okay. Give me a second. I've got to get this situated as far as the draft is concerned here. Tell you what. Go ahead and throw us your locks of the day. Sean, go first, and then Trosh.
Okay. My first lock of the day is I'm going to take one that's probably a little bit off the board. I would say I don't think a lot of people are maybe on this one. And I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals to win in what is going to be an interesting game. They actually haven't played very well at home. I think they're 8-1 on the road and 3-4 at home, if my numbers are correct on that. And Seattle, for whatever reason, loves playing in that building. Tyler Lockett, got himself at least 60 of the 69 million that Seattle gave him just off of that 170-yard game. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. Everything's a blur right now, but I think it was 2020. But I think Arizona is going to win, and I actually think they have a pretty decent shot to still win the division because I also like the Niners against the Rams. But my lock is going to be Arizona at home. I've seen it at a couple different spreads. The last time I saw it, it was 4.5. Someone will have to tell me really quick where it is because I don't have it up right in front of me.
The lines are at 7, isn't it?
5.5.
5.5. Is it 5.5? Okay.
Yep,
yeah, no, I'll lay the 5.5 on Arizona. It kind of feels like the end of the line for, the whole Legion of Boom thing. There's a lot of, I don't think there's any chance Russell's back there next year. And if you read the tea leaves on the reporting, it seems like there might be something going on with Carroll, like he might retire or, do something else, move into the office or something. So kind of feels like the end of the road for the Seahawks. And Arizona actually has something to play for. In this new format, and this has been true in week 17s in the past as well, you kind of want to look for value in the teams that have something to play for. and avoid the games where there's really not a lot going on. So give me Arizona laying the 5.5.
I like it. I'm actually going to go to the other side of the league in the AFC. We got a 1:00 matchup. Baltimore Ravens, if they win, they are most likely in. So give me the Ravens. They are currently -3.5 at home over Pittsburgh. We saw last week Ben Roethlisberger is just done. This should be the final game of his career. And Baltimore's defense is pretty depleted. There is no Lamar Jackson, but Tyler Huntley has shown he can run this offense, and this team is just a better team overall than Pittsburgh. 3.5 feels like an easy number to hit at home.
The only way the Ravens get in, though, by the way, is if Colts happen to lose and a couple other things happen too.
Okay.
Because they're technically sitting behind. They're behind the Colts, the Bills or Patriots, the Chargers or Raiders at this given time. So I think they need a lot of help, so to speak. Either one of those teams, Steelers or Ravens, both need a lot of help to get in.
Yeah, no, like I'm seeing it now. The Ravens need to win, and then the Colts, Chargers, and Dolphins all need to lose.
I've seen crazier things. I'm only going to say that.
This year has been crazy. This year has been crazy. If the Raiders can do it, anybody can do it.
And there's a lot. Those are all pretty good matchups too. Besides Jaguars, Jaguars have the Colts number, but.
All right, are we ready for the bad year draft?
Yes.
Yep.
Been waiting for this.
Rules on this, I put them in the thread, but rules on this are as they go. 10 points for minor negativity mean they tweet something stupid or there's a bad video of them that goes viral, et cetera, et cetera. 25 points for bad press, meaning they get caught in the act doing something and it's bad press. They do, kind of like when AB took off his jersey and walked out. That's bad press, right?
Okay.
Where is it next?
Do points stack? That's my question.
50 points for a scandal, which like a serious scandal, like they like a Ray Rice situation. 100 points if they get arrested. 100 points if they get convicted, which is going to be really difficult for them to get arrested and convicted in the same year because you know how that works. And then 100 points if this person gets fired from anything. So if it's an athlete, if it's a coach, if it's someone who's in a television show like a Roseanne gets drunk and texts something or tweets something she shouldn't have texted, that kind of thing.
This is awesome.
So this is what we're doing. And once again, Joey, we're not giving extra points for death.
Hey, we got that out of the way early.
I get that question from Joey instantly. If they die, is it worth 200? I don't want to be involved in that. What was your question, Steven?
Do these points stack? So like if someone gets arrested and then cut, is that 200 points?
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
Because we go through the entire year and
got it.
Have a running keep of it. If something happens, I'm leaving it up to the person who has the guy to tell me to give them credit for the points. And if there's a question, we'll put it up to a 3-man vote essentially and say, is this a scandal or is this not, that kind of thing. I think most of it can be pretty obvious. So I don't think we'll have that kind of issue. All in all, it's just a lot of fun. So I've got these 6 pieces of paper sitting in front of me. Bobby, I just want you to give me a number. I've got the piece of paper. We're going to do this on the honor system because I got no other way to do it with all of this, in different rooms. Bobby, give me a number between 1 and 6, and that's what this person's drafting at.
I'll go with 4.
Tampa Tones, you have got the 4th pick.
Cool.
Tampa, give me a pick between 1 and 6 that isn't 4.
3.
Steven, you've got the 3rd pick.
Okay.
Joey, between 1 and 6.
6.
What's that?
6.
Sean, you've got the 6th pick. Sean, 1, 2, and 5.
2.
Bobby, you've got the 2nd pick. Bobby, give me a number between, either 1 and 5.
Blue 1.
Joey, you've got the 1 pick, so that leaves me with the 5th pick.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here we go. Bad year draft. We're going to have to try to speed this up a little bit.
What's our rosters looking like?
What's that?
How many draft picks are we entailing?
We will do 4 picks, but if we're going to do 4 picks, we got to be kind of fast about it. So we don't need like a diatribe of, whether they were born a poor black child in Mississippi and walked up the snow. We don't need that. We need, I'm taking this guy because I think of this, and then we move on. All right.
No ESPN draft profile. Got it.
Right. Or what's the guy that always shows up on the college football show? Goes
Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah, I don't need a Tom Rinaldi. This guy was born without a body and decided he was going to play college football. Like, wait, what? What am I watching? And then by the end, I was like, oh, it's so emotional. Okay. Joey, you got the first pick. So we are going to snake, just so y'all know. So that's why we're doing 4. So it's fair. I don't know. I know we're probably going to run out of damn people, but, just going to take shots.
I like it.
So, Joey, give me your first pick.
With the first pick of this draft, I am going with Mr. Tony La Russa, White Sox manager. He has been known to get in trouble in the past while driving. He is a very senile old manager who in the White Sox are projected to go to the World Series this year. If things go a little south in Chicago, so will the bottle for Mr. Tony L. I'm taking Tony La Russa as my first pick.
If you take the Chicago thing out and just put my name in there, I hit the same one. Okay, Bobby, you got the second pick in this year's bad year draft. What you got?
Go with the guy who's hot in the news right now. I'm going to go with Antonio Brown.
Chalk.
Antonio Brown. So he's bound to do something stupid, man. Especially if if he gets signed by the USFL, that will just be great stuff. All right, so Steven, what is your first pick overall?
This man never fails to go a year without getting arrested. Little known sport, but I'm going to go John Jones in the UFC. Ooh. He is just a lightning magnet for controversy.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I'm taking Urban Meyer here. I think that his name still floats up for bad reasons, and I think that he wants to have his name hang out there, even though he's 6 feet under in terms of the coaching world. I think Urban Meyer's name stands a chance to hold strong for the year 2022. Well, strong for our standards for this draft in 2022.
Okay, so that takes it down to me, and I'm gonna go with. See, some really good ones already taken. I'm gonna go with what, Kadarius Toney seems like the type that's gonna do something really dumb. He seems like AB waiting to happen.
That ain't a lie. I mean,
and let AB get signed by the Giants, and they're just gonna sit there hang out all day.
Do we know that he wasn't one of the 500 players that texted Joe Judge that he was talking about in the press conference? Because he might have been.
I have no idea. So Sean, that takes you.
Joe Judge is going to get on the podium this week. AB was texting me. He'd love to be here. Oh God, Joe, no, don't do it. I'm going to take one that's a little bit off the board, but I think this guy's going to have a rough 2022, and it's already starting to sprinkle up a little bit. Baker Mayfield, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, who has already done some drive-bys at the Cleveland media this week. And boy, Bad Tweet Baker looks like he's in off-season form early. So I can't wait.
See, I'm looking for some low-hanging fruit, someone who's bound to get into some damn trouble. Okay, so considering all that we know, damn, I wish I had a second to think about this. Let me go with getting arrested would be, you know what? Give me Joe Biden.
Oh, I had him on my list.
Lord.
He was on my list.
Here we go.
He might get fired. Sean, did you take your second pick? Did I skip?
I didn't. I was just going to ask you if we were snaking or.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. If you want Biden, you can have him.
You know that I don't.
I know nobody wants him.
I don't want anything to do with politics.
Oh, you didn't take Joe Judge? Wasn't one of your picks, Sean? Sorry, I
oh no, he was up next. He was up next. Joe Judge is my second pick. I just wasn't sure what the format was because McGee jumped in, so I wasn't going to take two quarterbacks.
That was my bad because I heard Judge, I heard Mayfield, and so I went to mine.
No, it's okay. You read my mind. We've known each other a long time. Yeah, next up is Joe Judge. According to reports a month ago, he's not going to get fired. I don't think there's any way they can bring him back.
All right. So that takes us to Tampa Tones.
So you're sticking with the Biden pick then, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go with, I guess, this person similar. I'm going with Hillary Clinton. Clinton's one of those people who can't keep her mouth shut and she keeps crying. So let's go with Hillary to keep making her way into the press for the year 2022.
Now someone's got to hire her to fire her. So,
well, she makes money for her charitable donations. So maybe she'll get fired from there.
Steven, back to you.
Man, I am so lucky this dude fell to me. Raise your hand if you think Trent Baalke's going to survive another season in Jacksonville.
Nope.
That's the answer right there. Not one of you.
He isn't gonna survive Monday. They've got like 10,000 people who are going to show up dressed as clowns.
That's my point. I get a free 100 points right off the bat.
So Antonio Brown will be in the stands.
See, I thought about Nagy at the same point, but I want someone who's going to give me some points and then get fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's a good pick.
I'm hoping for the arrest with Hillary,
Where are we at here?
Like you stopped there. Bobby, it's your pick.
I'm going to go with another GM. I'm going to go with Dave Gettleman. Another one of the hot seats.
I like it. Hasn't he already been fired, though?
I don't know.
He's like Kenny from South Park. He just keeps coming back no matter how.
He is not officially been let go, Trosh. There's rumors, but that he's going to retire. But.
I thought he was for sure gone. No, good pick then.
Okay, Joey, that's back to you. You got back-to-backs.
All right, back-to-back. The first name is going to be maybe not as known, but Kevin Porter Jr. on the Houston Rockets. He actually pulled an Antonio Brown about a week and a half ago by leaving the game. Known. Yeah, so I think he's going to have a really tough 2022 as he was a high pick that hasn't lived up to it. And my other pick is going to be Frank Vogel, coach of the Lakers. I think something's going to go down there. LeBron always gets his way. And at the end of the day, if the Lakers keep hovering around 500, I think Frank Vogel will be the first scapegoat under the Lakers.
All right. So that's back to Bobby.
You don't think he gets any credit for he doesn't get any credit for his fake asterisk bubble title?
Not these days.
All right. I don't anticipate him getting fired or having any trouble finding a job, but I got Aaron Rodgers. You saw it last summer. I think this summer is going to be full with more controversy around him, and I think that's a good pick right there.
Bastard. That's what I had next. He's about to do some dumb. Did y'all see the report where it came off of the Geo and Boomer show in New York, where Boomer's texting with someone in the know in the NFL, and they're saying that his plan is to, if the Packers make the Super Bowl, to threaten not to play because of the COVID issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that in the last.
He didn't say whether or not he would actually go through with it, but he was going to freak out the NFL and threaten not to play because of COVID.
I've seen him he was already having fun on Twitter with that a little bit with Jordan Love and Banker. I seen they were tweeting about it.
I was just about to say that.
And Matt Flynn joined the fun on that one too a little bit.
Oh God.
All right.
If he does it, I guarantee you he'll break the news on McAfee's show. That's the one thing you can count on.
Love that show.
All right, so the next one would be Steven, it's your turn.
I'm going for the high upside play here. Not very likely, but I'm going to make a bold prediction. Trevor Bauer is arrested and cut from the Dodgers this year.
Ooh.
I don't even think that's unlikely. That's a good one.
I like that.
I like that.
He, Ozuna hit back-to-back home runs, back-to-back nights in the Dominican League. And there's all these knucklehead Braves fans like, he'll never play in a Braves uniform again. If anyone thinks he'll play, and I'm going to go opening day, he'll be there. I was like, there's nothing they can do with this guy. You can't trade him.
Right.
He hit back-to-back spots in that drywall in Sulphur Springs. So I'll let him play left field. Let's go right ahead.
Yeah, he's gonna. If you read the whole report, the first report released by the police evidently was skewed and not correct.
Yes. Skewed.
So, once again, his wife is very violent towards him, is what it all comes down to.
Yep.
Strangely enough, they celebrated their anniversary publicly. Was it about a month or so ago? Really weird. Who's next? Tampa Tones.
We've touched MLB, we've touched NBA, we've touched NFL. I'm going with the NHL here. I'm going with the Vander Kane. This guy's grocery list of baggage is literally insane for the years 2020 and 2021.
How do you spell his last name?
Kane.
Okay.
He's had a fake vaccine card. He has domestic abuse charges. He had a betting allegation against him, and that's all within the past 6 months. So I hope he stays a hot commodity and keeps making his name go around in the news. I'm going to Vander Kane.
All right, I'm going to go with the NBA and everyone's least favorite person on the planet, LeBron James. He is bound to do something stupid, you name it. What was he? He was trying to get someone fired the other day because of something that they said that they had no idea that they were offending someone. And so LeBron James, did y'all see this? There was I forget the team, but there was
I saw it. It was Kevin Porter made a
it was Porter. Okay, I thought it was because when you said Porter, that's what Porter, what his dad, so he thought his dad was the ex-basketball player, but he wasn't.
Kevin Porter, but he's not. Yeah.
And the guy said something about, he just couldn't pull the trigger in time. And to the broadcasters, he did not know this. Kevin Porter's dad had been in jail and I guess shot somebody and then was shot and killed or something. And I don't remember all the details, but LeBron James, as soon as it came out, because he's been chomping at the bit for months after he stuck his foot in his mouth last time. You ought to be fired. So
that's what do you expect from a guy who every time he tweets a picture of him reading something, he's on page one. You're wrong. We know what you're doing.
I'm gonna get at least points on a bad tweet over Super Bowl weekend. Something stupid's gonna come out of that dude's mouth or phone. Sean, you got back-to-back picks.
All right, I got back-to-back picks. I'm gonna stay in the NBA, and I'm gonna take a guy who's been in the news lately and is not gonna stop being in the news anytime soon, and that is one Mr. Tristan Thompson. I don't even know what team this guy's playing for right now, but he had some bad news this week because he is just hot on the trails of Antonio Cromartie's most children sired baby daddy record. I think he's up to 4 and he's only like 26. He's got time left. I think Cromartie made it to double digits. So this dude is just bad news. And because he has a child with someone who has never seen a camera she wouldn't talk to and whose face has been put together more times than a broken porcelain dish, I don't see any end to this anytime soon. So give me Tristan Thompson for my first pick. And then I'm going to stay in the same general hemisphere with the National Basketball Association. My second one's kind of a weird one, but I'm going to take James Harden for the next one because I think, as crazy as this sounds, I think there's a high probability he's on a different team next season, as nuts as that is, because I just don't like the way things are headed. And he is always a candidate to get arrested or have a scandal around him because he is Mr. Clubs to 2 a.m., which is why you'll never win with him on your team. So 2 NBA picks for me on that round.
All right, so that goes to me. I want to take Trump, but he can't tweet anything out, so you're going to lose points just because of that. right?
He's got Getter or
Not much
whatever it
chance he
is.
gets arrested.
Yeah, he's got. Doesn't he have Parlor, Getter? What are all the different ones he uses?
All 7 of those people that are on there, who cares? So and he's coming out with his own social media. Who cares? I want to go with someone who's likely to not only tweet something out stupid, but get in a scandal, maybe lose their mind and get arrested. So my last pick is Kanye West.
Oh, I had him on mine. I had him.
The way that guy makes it a whole year without doing something ridiculous.
Yep.
I had him and Tristan in my pecking order. Those are some good picks there.
There's still 2 really good ones that are out there. But anyways, we go to Tampa.
All right, I got a question. If you resign, does that count as being fired depending on the circumstance?
If it's like a guy resigns as after a great career, no. But if he resigns because he got caught diddling someone in Chili's like Urban Meyer.
All right, I'm going with Dan Snyder then, Washington football team owner. I think that he's in some trouble. His stadium can't even be held together by zip ties, it seems. So, I just think that between the name change that they got coming up, the email scrutiny, their stadium being a piece of crap, literally and figuratively, I think we could be hearing Dan Snyder's name quite a bit coming up.
I'm so excited for him to take the podium on February the 2nd and go, we're changing the name to the Redskins.
Isn't that genius? The Redskins.
Steven, what say you?
Well, Harden was my my 4th round pick. I was loving the the strip club possibilities, but I'm going to dig into college football a little bit. Not sure if this guy is controversial at all, but I don't think he'll be long for the job. Scott Frost in Nebraska.
Oh, I like that.
His house might get broken into again. You could get some points for that.
Okay.
And cow tipping's illegal in Nebraska, so I mean that's could always get arrested for that.
Hobby, what you got?
I'm gonna go with the ringmaster of the Kardashians. I'm gonna go Kris Jenner. Something tells me she's gonna do something stupid this year.
All right, and Joey.
Mr. Irrelevant, I should say Miss Irrelevant, Nancy Pelosi will be my last pick.
I don't know if she knows how to tweet, but yeah.
She'll be out of a job in a year, so that's what I'm going for, points wise.
Gonna do one bonus round. If you want to take a guy out and put a guy in, gonna leave that up to y'all because I know this comes at you fast. So we'll start with Joey. Is there anyone you want to take out but you want to put back in, or do you want to leave it as?
Okay, so I had Kevin Porter, Frank Vogel,
LaRussa, and Pelosi.
I'm actually because I hate this guy so much, I'm gonna replace Pelosi and put in Brian Kelly. I hope his Southern accent and LSU takes him to a harsh, bad place this year. So
me and my family.
Also, going to keep track of the one we take off because you're like, I should have left him in.
I know. I hate even doing that, but
I went on a shooting spree and I freaking. Bobby, do you want to take anyone out and put anyone in?
Who'd Joey take out?
Brian Kelly.
Wait, did he put him in or take him out?
He put in Kelly and took out Pelosi.
Right.
I'll leave as is.
Okay. Steven, what say you?
I'm actually going to replace Scott Frost with Deshaun Watson. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Think of that.
I was thinking about him.
That's a really good one. Tones, what about you?
Man, that's tough. Do I keep Hillary? She's unemployed right now. It's like when you look at the aspects of it.
All of you taking politicians to get arrested, like need to go to 8th grade with Bobby this week. There hasn't been a politician arrested in like 20 years.
But her Twitter's pretty high.
Scandals, come on now, let's go.
Yeah, she's more so for the scandal.
Money, man. That's money in the bank, man.
Yeah, I'm keeping Hillary. I was gonna think about Hub Arkish after this week, but I'm keeping Hillary over Hub.
All right. So I've got 2 on my list that I'm thinking about. There's one that I'm pretty sure could get arrested, but I just don't think it may not happen this year. So I'm gonna leave that one. Let me go. I'm gonna double down and give me Kamala Harris because she's dumber than a bag of hammers, and I'll take Kadarius Toney off.
The double bubble of Biden and Harris, man, it's like a wide receiver.
Someone's got to do something stupid. Someone's getting fired this year.
This is not a draft you want to stack in.
This is the one you want to stack because it's an election year, and they're going to be out there campaigning for different folks, and someone's bound to stick their foot in their mouth. The tweet I'm not likely to get for them, but the other stupid stuff. Come on now, I mean. The thing on Christmas Eve alone would have been worth what, 50, 100 points, something like that. Sean, are you taking anyone out?
I'm going to take out Baker and give me the lowest hanging fruit that I can't believe anyone took just because it's an easy points on the firing is Ryan Pace, the general manager of the Chicago Bears. Sim and Nagy both are, I mean, they're just dead man walking. And I didn't hear either one of them taken, I don't think. So
no.
I'm going to get the low hanging fruit there. I might not get anything off scandal and tweets. Although, I don't know. Ryan Pace does have a Twitter account. He never uses it, but he has one. So let me take Baker off because everything that happened this week might have shook him just enough that he'll stay quiet in the offseason, sign his contract, and sign up for another 4 years of horrible insurance commercials with his wife and keep his mouth shut. So Ryan Pace in, Baker Mayfield out.
All right. So Joey's got Kelly, LaRussa, Porter, and Vogel. Bobby's got AB, Gettleman, Aaron Rodgers, and Chris Jenner. I have to look up who Chris Jenner is. Not quite sure. I'm sure it's someone that has a butt and has dated an athlete. Is
Kardashian's mom.
She's
Kardashian's
like
mom.
Queen Clan Kardashian. She's dangerous.
Mom, okay.
She turned Bruce into Caitlyn.
Her first husband died prematurely after he represented OJ, and her second husband became not a man. So she's got a lot.
He died prematurely as well, right?
Yeah. So she has two husband deaths technically.
Did they stay married, by the way? I don't follow this stuff.
No, she's dating some famous guy now. I forget who she's dating now, but she is dating some famous guy. I forget who, but
that made me lose my place. Steven got John Jones, Balky, Bauer, and Watson. Tampa's got Urban, Clinton, Kane, and Snyder. I've got Harris, Biden, LeBron, and why can I not find the other one?
Harris.
Oh, Kanye West. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's gonna be the one that's just gonna score me the most points. I couldn't find it. Sean's got Ryan Pace, Joe Judge, Tristan Thompson, and James Harden. So I'm writing like this, so it's all scribbly and stuff. I look down. I swear it looked like Joe Horn. I was like, "You pick Joe Horn? Is that what?"
Where's the cell phone?
Exactly. All right. Well, Areolas, we'll see you next week. Tampa, I'll see you at the 4:30 kickoff. And have a great day. This was a lot of fun. We're definitely doing this again next year.
Have a good one, boys.
Have a good one, fellas.
Enjoy the football this weekend, guys.
Stay safe.
Yep. Mac, I'll see you soon, my friend.
Yes, sir. Okay. So we got our locks in. We'll wait for the one big thing at the end of the show. I think we need to go ahead and do our DFS because if not, we're going to run out of time.
Okay.
So let me get into that. Get one of those pulled up.
Here's a funny procedural question. There's a lot of different games on DraftKings this week. Some are Saturday only. Are we trying to do a whole weekend game or?
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, there's not a ton of.
Oh, so we're doing a whole weekend lineup?
Yeah. Anyone that plays this weekend. There's a few that I found that are like free to enter, so you can join in those. I think a lot of those are going to pop up later in the day.
I'm not even there. It is.
So as far as turns go, since I'm the keeper of that, actually, McGee, it's your turn.
Oh, it is
first. So, yep.
Awesome. So I get the crappiest week of the year. All right, sweet. All right, so I've got to pick a guy who's going to play and try to win, who's not going to go out there and just absolutely just dud it out. So I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. I think they're going to try to win today. I think they care about their seeding. They're at home. It's the Cowboys. I'm hoping that's the case. So I'm going to go with him. And oh man, I did not.
Here's where it gets fun because there's two obvious guys to stack him with. But which one do you take?
Neither. You go with Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, get out of here. Stop it.
Man, I did not realize Goddard had COVID. That's where I was going with it. So let me go to see. Boston Scott's got COVID. Sanders is out. I don't like the Gainwell pick that well. Who are you suggesting? Jaeger?
Oh, no, I was joking. Jager's not even in the rotation. It's probably going to be down to Devontae Smith and maybe Quez Watkins.
Well, that's who I was thinking was Devontae Smith. Oh, there he is. I couldn't find him at first. I'll just take Devontae Smith. He's burned me a million times. Why not burn me one last time in week 18? So I do think Jalen Hurts will go out there and get me points. And if Smith gets in the end zone, it'll be worth the start. And he's not too terribly expensive. So who goes after this?
Next would be Bobby, and then me, and then Steven.
All right, it's week 18. I'm going to spend some big money on our second go. I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor for 9,300. He's going up against the bad Jaguars defense, and it's a win they're in type situation. I look at him to have a big day this week.
If he doesn't, someone's got to check on Joey. If they lose that game to the Jaguars, man, woo, that is not how you. That is not how you want it all to end.
Big in my house, Big Country will not. Big Country's my son, by the way. He's a left guard. He will not be happy if they lose. I'll have to drop him off at Gold's Gym and come back in 3 hours. He will not be in a good way.
If they lose, I'm gonna really wish I'd picked Carson Wentz in this bad year draft. And he's going to go somewhere and get fired for that. You could just rack up points before kickoff of 2022. All right. Sean, is it your turn?
Yep, it's my turn. So I'm going to take our second running back, and I'm going to take someone who I think is going to be a big part of the script this week in a game that is kind of under the radar, means a whole lot. I'm going to take Elijah Mitchell at 6,000 at the Rams. The Rams have not played well at home. They've not played well lately. They deserved to lose that game last week, but somehow didn't. And San Francisco is in a win-and-you're-in situation. If they lose, they need the Saints to lose. Otherwise, they're out. Kyle Shanahan is definitely the master, and McVay's still the learner in that matchup. I mean, he just owns McVay. So I think the creative ways he's going to try and get Mitchell the ball, they're definitely going to focus on Deebo Samuel. I like that price at $6K.
All right, Steven, what say you?
I'm currently looking for a decently cheap receiver. My original plan was to go Cooper Kupp. He's going for almost every receiving record this weekend, but Jonathan Taylor kind of puts that out of play. All right, I'm going to go Cyril Grayson at 4,400. He took over last week when Antonio Brown left the game. Looks like he's actually running with the starter, like running with the not like obviously behind Evans and Godwin, but he's only 4,400. He looked great last week. He's been producing on all of his targets, and even if this game gets out of hand early, he should be one of those players that stays in for the whole game.
So Brady told Arians to put him in, so he's Brady's all aboard that train. So that's a good one.
Okay. So it comes back down to me, and man, I'm really starting to wish I'd done differently on our can I change out my quarterback and receiver and
absolutely
do a different
you can change anything you want?
Okay, I'm gonna do a different stack and then just skip this turn. How about that? I'm gonna go with Huntley at 5,700, and stack him with Andrews at 7,500. It's roughly around the same amount of money altogether, but I think it gives me a better chance of having a much better game.
Yeah.
So I'll sit this
Nothing
round.
wrong with that.
Who's ever next can take the next pick.
I think that is
Bobby. It's you.
All right, I'll go ahead and get our defense knocked out. I got Browns defense for 2,600. Cheap because they're not a very good defense, but they're going up against pretty much all backups this week for the Bengals. The Bengals are resting everybody because they almost have no shot at the 1 seed. So I see the Browns forcing some turnovers this week, and I don't know. I think that's a good price for 2,600.
Sean?
That is good stuff. I'm gonna save us a little bit on a receiver and give Trosh and Dave a little bit more to play with on the back end. I got to find him really quick. I found him earlier. I'm just trying to find his price. There he is. I think all attention in the Chargers game is going to be on Hunter Renfrow. And if Darren Waller plays, that's even, I think, going to prop this guy's value further. I'm going to take Zay Jones at 4,500. I got burned on him, I don't know, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He came up big last week in that Colts game, and he really does do very well out of the slot against lesser quarterbacks. And the Chargers' bread and butter is getting home with Bosa and Tippett up the middle. And if they can't do that, the only place you really need to avoid is Asante Samuel II on the outside. And I don't think he's going to be on Jones. So give me Jones at 4,500. I think Carr's going to look to him a lot.
All right, Steven, that leads it back to you. Wide receiver or flex? We got 10,000 to spend.
Well, I mean, we're basically pigeonholed into 2 receivers here because I'm looking at running backs, and it is very slim pickings for under really 5,500. But I am going to go $4,900 for Gabe Davis. I think we should. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be out again this week. He's been running as the basically been taking over his snaps and routes, and he shows a decent connection with Josh Allen. I like the touchdown upside against that weak Jets secondary.
Okay, so that gives us 5,100 and a flex, and it's not a whole lot to go for here. But the thing is, you got to pick a guy who's going to be in a game that matters. And I'm going to go for a deep strike guy, a guy that can get us a lot of points off of one play. Give me Van Jefferson going against the San Francisco secondary. 5,100 fits in perfectly. And that would make it Huntley, Jonathan Taylor, Eli Mitchell, Zay Jones, Grayson, Davis, Andrews, Jefferson, and the Browns. It's all going to come down to do our receivers come through. That's what it comes down to. Because I don't think we have to worry about our quarterback, our tight end, or our 2 running backs. It's really going to come down to those 4 receivers. Can 2 of them come through, And
it's interesting that Trosh talks a lot about this kind of strategy stuff with these cash lineups, but of those 4 receivers, I'll bet none of them are going to be more than 20%, rostered on game day. Maybe 30%.
If they all go off, it's pay dirt, right? Because no one.
So I mean, if 2 of them hit, you're doing pretty well. If 3 of them hit, you're in the money. So that's an important thing with cash lineups. Anybody can go out there and start Joe Burrow against the Bengals, but like he was in 83% of cash lineups last week, so you didn't make a killing on that.
Okay, so we got our picks in. We're going to do our one big thing here at the bottom of the hour. Want to go around to each one of y'all. Give me one game that you're really interested in today, and which side you would be leaning on, whether it was an over/under, a points against the spread. You name it. Just give me one game that you're like, you know what, this game I'm locked into. I'm looking forward to it. Bobby, we'll start with you.
You said today. Does that have to be one of the Saturday games?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking it's Sunday.
He means the weekend. I knew what he meant.
Yeah. I'm looking at the 49ers Rams.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Sorry, Sean. I hate to kind of steal this one from you, but I'm looking at the 49ers Rams game a lot too. Obviously, it's a big game for the Cardinals. I'm hoping we can handle business against the Seahawks regardless. But if the Rams lose, then we jump into first place in the NFC West. And, if the 49ers lose, then they're going to rely on a Saints loss to not be bounced out of the playoffs. So that's a huge game for playoff implications. I like the 49ers to cover. I think the line was 4.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I like the 49ers to cover that. But yeah, this game, I think it's going to be a very good game. Throughout the past few years, the 49ers have kind of had the Rams number, but I think this game's going to be, I think the Rams probably get it done. I think it'll be a close win, but I think it's going to be a fun game.
I would be tempted to take the Niners on the money line. For whatever reason, they own the Rams.
They do. I think
it's because they're more physical. They go in beginning of the game and they punch you in the damn mouth, right? And the Rams are until Akers makes that running game more relevant again. They don't have a physical style, and I don't think this is the year Akers does that. I think the rest is going to have to be kicked off of Akers, and I like the Niners going in and getting that W.
Mm-hmm. As long as the Saints win, I'm happy with either outcome.
What's that?
As long as the Saints win, I'm happy with either outcome. It either means the 49ers are out of the playoffs or the Cardinals are number one in the West.
Right. That I'll tell you what, that over-under is interesting too. 44.5. I think that's a little low.
Yeah,
I get it's a divisional game, but I feel like that's a little low.
In Los Angeles too. That's a dome game. So
right. Steven, what game are you excited about?
I'm just trying to see if there's any other ones that won't steal Sean's other big thunder.
Oh, I've got multiple options.
Benefit of having personalities. Sean, you go first, and then it'll make it easier on Steven.
Oh no, I have mine.
Go ahead. I'll give Trosh.
Raiders Chargers Sunday night and finish up the season strong. Derek Carr is always money on prime time. I am looking forward to that battle. That is going to be, total was 48.5. It's definitely one of the higher totals on this closing weekend, but actually that is the highest total. Wow. Even still, 48.5 is still average compared to what we've seen so far this season. I think that over hits easily.
I think overs are the way to go this weekend. Normally I'm preaching the unders, but the overs are have been taken down because so many stars are not going to play. But you also have a lot of defensive players that aren't going to play. So I think there's going to be some points scored this weekend. Okay, so we got two. I'd say those are probably the two biggest games of the weekend: 49ers, Rams, and Chargers, Raiders. Sean, what say you?
Yeah, a couple things on what you just said, though, about the unders. The unders are beating the overs the last 4 weeks, which is usually right about the time that something flips. And if you're wanting to short the market this weekend, I agree with McGee. I think the overs are a much safer play than the unders this weekend. Nobody stole what I was going to take, actually, and I'm really surprised. Bobby kind of mentioned this game, but I'm going to peel back the onion a couple of layers. And one of the most interesting games to me in the afternoon slate is the Saints at the Falcons. Look, the Falcons have nothing to play for, but they've been a frisky, there's my word, 7-9. The Saints have a lot to play for. If the Rams beat the Niners at home, which is not, even an improbable outcome, and the Saints win, the Saints are in the playoffs with just a skeleton crew of players right now. I mean, starting Taysom Hill at quarterback. And look, if you don't pay a lot of attention to the NFC South, I think Tones could tell you this. These teams hate each other. They despise each other. This goes back like 15, 20 years. Sean Payton loves to stick it to the Falcons. Arthur Smith, new head coach, probably going to want to finish the season on a high note. I'm all over that game. I love the Saints only laying 3.5 at Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta has really a lot to play for. I'm struggling to remember if they own their first round pick this year because so many people traded their picks, but they don't really have, much to do. It's going to be the Matt Ryan farewell tour next year. I love that cat behind you, Bobby. That's awesome on the odds. That's good for me. I really like the Saints laying the 3.5, and I like the over in this game as well because it's priced a lot lower than I thought it would be at only 40 points. I mean, this could easily be 34-14, 34-17. So I'm all over that on the afternoon slate.
So two teams that are playing for playoffs, but they need a lot of help. But still, this is a rivalry. This is one of the best rivalries in football, especially when the teams are good. They're okay this year. Give me Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Baltimore's at home, 3.5-point favorites. I think they're going to win the game. I don't know about the covering. I'd be more likely to grab them in another team in a 2-team parlay and just hit the money lines. But I mean, one of the ones I like the best is the Cardinals and the Ravens money line. Give it to me on a 2-team parlay because I believe the Cardinals are going to win, and I believe Baltimore. All the emotions of Ben Roethlisberger on Monday night are out of that team at this point. I get it; it's Ben Roethlisberger's last game, but he's not in front of his home crowd. So they're playing on a short week. They're on the road. I think Huntley, Sean said it best a couple weeks ago in a text, Huntley gives the Ravens a better chance to win. And if I'm the Ravens, I'm seriously thinking about putting Lamar Jackson on the trade market because you could get so much back at an age 25 Lamar Jackson than you can a Huntley. And you could build a real team around Huntley.
I don't know that they never trade him in the division, but could you imagine if they put him up for draft capital and someone like Cleveland bit? Because I don't know what they're going to do with Baker.
Yeah, they're not going to put him in the division. I don't even think they'd want to put him in their own conference. I mean, I said it yesterday. Trade him to Detroit. He would be a huge success with the fans in Detroit. It would give you a reason to go out and watch a Lions game. And the Lions, I mean, let's be honest, you get a draft pick from the Lions this year?
One or two.
I'd get 2 or 3 number 2s and not worry about a number 1. Go here. These are the Lions. You're not going to be any good. So that number 2 is always going to be a very good pick.
That's a good one.
I don't know. All right, let's go around in a circle. Bobby, what is your one big thing that happens this weekend?
One big thing. I'm going to say the Chargers, they win a close one tomorrow night on the primetime game. I'm going to say they beat their division rival, the Raiders, and they secure that wild card spot over them. Tough way to end the season for the Raiders, but I think the Chargers are the better team, and I think they'll get it done.
All right. Steven.
I think the even with all the starters resting, I think the Bengals are still going to pull out a win and jump up to the 3rd seed over Buffalo.
Sean?
There's nothing I like more than final week scoreboard watching. It's best in baseball, but in the afternoon slate, you're going to have 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals, Seahawks going at the same time. And this isn't a lock, but this is for Bobby and all my family out west. I think the Cardinals do the deed and beat the Seahawks in a competitive game. I think the Niners go into LA and beat the Rams, and the Cardinals are your division winners and host that home game. That's my one big thing. And I'm excited for the possibility of Kevin Harlan doing the picture-in-picture 2 games at once that he did. I think it was last year or the year before, because that stuff's really great when it happens in the last week of the season. And that's the one slot on the weekend where something like that could happen. So
my one big thing, the Tennessee Titans will find a way to get that win tomorrow, get the bye, and Derrick Henry will be ready to roll come playoff time, which means the playoffs will come through Nashville, Tennessee. And
terrifying.
I like it.
All right. So that'll do it for us. And we will see y'all next week as the Handicappers have moved to Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 to 12:30 Eastern, 90 minutes to get you ready for the NFL weekend. Next week, it's the playoffs. And am I remembering it correct? There's a Monday Night Football game this year, right? In the playoffs.
Yep. First time. Monday Night Wild Card game.
I don't know if they're going to do that week 2, but that's a lot of fun to have Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's awesome.
It's going to throw off DFS, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, playoff DFS is a great time to make money.
Steven's head's always in the DFS. I mean, it's not if you include the entire
slate.
Yeah. 2 day slates they usually do, but 3 days their DraftKings is usually hesitant to stretch it out that far.
Well, they'll probably have to do it this time because I believe how it's going to be set up is there's only going to be 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday.
They may just
Gonna
extend
have
that
to do
one game into a
2, 3, 1.
5-game. I'll take it.
Yeah, because I think the main reason why they did it, they didn't want an early kickoff on a Saturday because they knew that the
Understood.
ratings would just be terrible for like a 1 o'clock kickoff. All right, guys. See y'all next week. Great job and good luck. And here's hoping some of our folks start getting arrested and stuff until the next time we see y'all.
Take it.